Are you one of those hopeless romantics? Do you like all the rom-com, dating show, reality, black love? Are you a fan of Ready to Love on OWN, or basically you just like hearing commentary about it whether you watch it or not? Or are you one of those people who just want to see if anybody else is thinking the exact same things you're thinking? Well, if so, you have come to the right place. Stay tuned. We're going to get into this episode of Ready to Love on the OWN Network. Hi there, Simpli Subbies. Welcome back to the Simpli Living Podcast. This is episode number 6. We are doing Ready to Love on the OWN Network. Episode 6. Watch with me, hear my honest reviews, see my honest reactions I have not seen. So guys, this show didn't come on last week, so we got a little catching up to do. If you guys remember, then you know that Stacy went home last week, and also Tressa and Stacy are both gone, and now it is going to be a guys elimination. I'm not sure who's going home, but I still have my favorite couples. I'm going to give you my top 3, and then it's queued up. We're going to get right into it. So, couple number 1, always, I love Liz and David. I also love Joel and Vernisha. And then my third couple has been KG or KJ Smooth, Chris from last season, and Amber. Those are my top 3. That could change. If you guys saw not last week, but the week before that. That was the last episode. We took a week off, so we're getting back in the swing of things. I'm excited to see what happened. Y'all should have seen me last week queued up and ready to go, and guess what? It did not come on. So we are ready to get into it. There's a masquerade ball. There was frickin' frack drama, but Stacy's gone home, so there should be no more frickin' frack drama. Chrysanthemum should be able to make her own connections and move forward with one of her relationships. Ron kind of dissed her and played her a little bit for Alexis Fly, who he's now calling one of his number 1s. So that should be an interesting transition. And then your boy Jason, who was all about Kyra, has eyes for Liz. First Lady Liz, as they like to call her. And you know that's David's number 1, number 2, and number 3. So this should be interesting to see how this plays out. I think, I think it should be interesting because Liz said she was open to it. So anyway, guys, let's get into it. Yes, shoes. Vernisha looking good. Okay, the ladies are at a Tommy meet and greet brunch, or the situation for the ladies' room. Okay, guys, so what Tommy just did is say he wanted to change things up, and he just told the ladies, imagine who your number 1 is. Close your eyes. Get into this. Who are you imagining? Vernisha like, you know who I'm imagining. Joel. Amber like, you know, Chris. That's who I see. And then he tells him, don't go on a date with them this week. They weren't trying to hear that. So let's see how this goes. He said they not doing what they usually do, so try something different.
So I want you to explore a guy that you wouldn't normally go.
Oh.
You might be surprised at what you find.
They're supposed to go after someone they normally wouldn't date.
Try something new.
Interesting.
Get different results from what I'm normally living with my type.
Explore your options.
Get away from their types. I think that's a good idea. It's a good exercise.
All right, ladies. See y'all in a few days. All right.
Comes Alexis Fly. I'm not loving this little outfit.
Already gone out with my first option, which was AJ. So Ron is my man right now. He's the one I'm choosing.
She's actually going out with Ron. She says AJ is her number 1, so she's going to go out with Ron, which is crazy because he said she was his number 1.
We have been talking on the phone, and there was definitely a connection there, but we hadn't been on a date yet. And so I'm looking for the moment that would...
Okay, her outfit is growing on me. I thought it was a 1-piece, but it's a 2-piece, so that made it a little bit cute.
Okay, Alexis mentioned that she kind of doesn't know how to play golf. Me and Jazz kind of freestyle a little bit, so when she was kind of, putting
The boots are her replay. Shout out to my dean, Ebony, for that word. Circa 2004.
I was able to sneak in multiple hugs and close moments with Alexis, so it worked out for me.
concerns from me. So obviously, you know that I'm a woman of faith.
Definitely.
I mean, I'm a church girl. I love God. You were concerned with, you know, being in my space. Ooh, I almost made it.
You almost heard it. I ain't saying I've had the spiritual past, you know what I mean? I kind of live like a rock star.
I think that's
The
what
heck does that
attracts
mean?
me to you, because when I look at you, I get that priestly king vibe, like somebody that can totally take charge and I can follow, and I'm not concerned about what path you're gonna lead me to.
Lead you to happiness.
It's not as easy as it looks, I tell you.
So where you at in this process?
So there is another individual that I'm also interested in. I'm a little worried about if he's a playboy or not, and he's the normal type that I'm attracted to. Part of me is like, you need to get away from that, but then a part of me wants that. What about yourself? Because according to Chris, she didn't know that I was your number one.
I told everybody else. I mean, I had to get back to her. I don't think it was that deep. You were surprised?
I want to know, are you still feeling me? Am I still your number one? I mean, she's gorgeous. She doesn't have children. But here's the thing. Do you want, you know, a trophy wife? Or you want somebody you can build something with? And you told me she's your usual type.
Yeah.
So what puts me ahead? I need you to know the answer to that question.
We're ahead. Like we talk every day. I'm highly attracted to you.
Thank you. Same here.
Before I got here, my life was happy, right? With you, growth spiritually and everything like that, it has the ability to take me beyond who I even was or what I could be. That's the reason I'm here, to leave my queen, and I like my chances.
Okay, guys, so let's get into this date number 1. We have Alexis Fly. Her outfit ain't that fly, guys. Now, the outfit kind of cute, but these little boots she got on, I don't know what they doing. It's a hot mess. These little animal print boots or some situation. But her outfit is kind of cute. It's like a 2-piece, kind of cropped like mine. Mine is actually connecting because I'm pulling it down. But it's like a crop top, long sleeves. It has ruffles. It's cream color with some pants. It's cute, but the shoes, definitely no. Anyway, she's on her date with her number 2, which is Ron, because she likes AJ. And I think they're having a very mature conversation. Like, she's asking good questions. Like, okay, so you said chrysanthemum is your usual type. What makes me more number 1 than number 2? She also brought up the thing that, you know, I'm a church girl. I'm a spiritual person. And I feel like you could be a person that can lead me, can be a king, all these, that, and the other. Now, he says, you know, he don't have a church background. He used to live his life like a rock star. But apparently, it sounds like he's kind of open to exploring his spirituality, or I ain't going to say Christianity because they didn't say whichever way. However, I know Alexis used to be married to a pastor, so that's probably more so where she's going with it. However, when she asked him that, he actually had a good response. He basically said, you know, I can see myself. I'm happy anyway, but with you, I'm happier. I can grow spiritually and all this other stuff. So that means he's very into that. He talks to her more often. Now, the one thing I don't like about Alexis' question is she had to say, like, do you want a trophy wife or a different wife? So basically, she's trying to say chrysanthemum will only be a trophy wife. And I just feel like if you don't get to know a person, and I don't know if the women are getting to know each other outside of, you know, with the men, other than freaking Frack, Stacey, and Chrysanthemum, who are now besties. Like, I just think that's a little bit shady to just be like, she's just only going to be a trophy wife. Because I'm sure she has intellect and substance and all this other stuff. So don't just say that. Yes, she's beautiful, but beautiful women can also be intelligent. So I don't like that. But he did say, you know, I'm attracted to you. Not just that, but I think we can grow and I like my chances. So shout out to Ron. Good answer. Good answer. Let's get back to it. And they have really good chemistry, guys. Like, they hug, and you know she's a affectionate person anyway. She's always touching on whoever she's on a date with, and it looks like they together are very affectionate toward one another. So I like it. She's super short, and he's not the tallest, but he is taller than her. He can pick her up. Looks like it's gonna be a nice little situation.
Dang, I still have feelings he may be the one that works out for me in the long run.
Oh, I didn't touch on that too. So Alexis is saying also that, you know, AJ's her number one, and it's because it's her typical type. But remember, Tommy wanted them to go outside of their box. And so she's saying, you know what? Even though I like AJ, he might be a player. I still haven't decided that. And she wants to give Ron a shot. He may move up. Who knows?
Carry you out.
Oh, Lord, he giving a piggyback ride. Oh, that's so cute. They're cute together. I like them together. So the criminal attorney Amber is heading out for a date with AJ, the music producer from Chicago, Chi-Town, baby. Oh, he's so tall. She's so small.
Honestly, not my personality.
I finally got you out.
Finally, I'm just hoping to see a genuine part about him that wasn't so arrogant and cocky. So I'm very intentional about this date.
She's not the first one who's called him arrogant.
No, this is good.
Amber's a really attractive woman, but I just haven't talked to her. So I was hoping to have a connection with her as I give her some attention today.
So what's up right then?
I don't know, you can tell me. I don't even know who you're feeling.
Would you like to know?
Absolutely.
Okay. I would say Chris, Ron.
Oh man, see, look, I'm not even in them.
So here's the thing. This is a dating reality show, and I understand we're halfway there. But those whole questions like, I want to know who you feeling, like, that's what AJ hit her with. She like, how you doing? He like, I'm good, but I don't even know who you feeling. Who you feeling? She like, would you like to know? And she tells him. But like, why is that? Y'all trying to get to know each other. You trying to see if y'all have any kind of connection. Like, why we got to talk about these other people? Let's have our date, then maybe later on after the conversation get going, you can ask me that question. But I'm like, come on, leading out the gate with it. Then he want to say, she says Chris and Ron. He's like, I ain't even in the number. No, sir, you're not. You just said you ain't ever talked to me. We don't have no conversations.
Eggs.
We haven't talked at all.
I should have invited you out earlier from now. Like, how we get to here where
You should have invited
all this
her.
time passed and we just not seeing each other.
You?
Me?
Okay, let me be honest with you. Sometimes it seems like you're not approachable.
Really?
Yeah, because you give me this arrogant feel. You come off like, okay, I'm AJ. I know I look good. I don't really have to work hard to get a girl.
Hearing her say that I was arrogant was definitely a blow because I don't look at myself that way. A lot of times confidence can be mistaken as arrogance. So basically what I'm hearing is you don't think that I work and you want me to work. And that's the reason why you've been, okay, got it.
Of course, if you're going to reach out, I need to reach out back. But it looks like you just used to the girls, like, just come and hit you up. I feel like AJ has not put forth the effort whatsoever to genuinely try to get to know me further. It's kind of hard to communicate with him, so he's just not for me.
If I start putting in all the work and I'm raising up, how do I stop from being all the way at the bottom? Because wasn't Troy like higher up on your list before he was all the way at the bottom like that?
It was, but it wasn't because Troy put in the work. I'm not going to not match the energy.
Just remember you said that I'm going to put you to the test on that.
Please do. I'm going to.
Okay, so I like this conversation that they just had too, because Amber is keeping it 100 with him. Like, well, one, I feel like he was unapproachable, but not just that, you're not putting any work. Like, if you call me and reach out to me, I'm going to reach back, but I'm not just out here trying to call you. I think that you're someone who is used to women just hitting you up and calling you and all this stuff. She's like, that's not me. So if you put forth work and effort, then I'll match your energy. Like, that matching energy is a real thing. Like, people do it all the time, especially male counterparts. We matching energy out here in these streets. Okay, Amber, you let him know. So he like, well, I'll try. I'll work harder, whatever. The thing is, pursue a woman. If that's what you're interested in, she's just like, he ain't for me. He's not trying to pursue me, which I get. Maybe it is somebody he's actually working toward and actually trying to pursue. But I do find that a lot now, and I don't know if it's a generational thing or just like a location thing, geographic, wherever people are from. But I do notice that a lot of people just assume they can send you a little low impact message like, hey, and then they expect you to like be reaching out to them all the time. Like, sir, your hey can go unnoticed. Like, you're going to put forth more effort. I'll match your energy. Because you'll get a hey, and I'll keep it moving.
Man, I definitely took my licks in this conversation. Obviously, I have something to figure out because at this point, things are happening really fast, and I'm seeing number ones are going to last, and I'm definitely in the hot seat.
This week's episode is called Opposites Attract. So, okay, Chrysanthemum girlfriend. Got her boots. She's doing a little maroon and pink number with some maroon boots. Cute, burgundy maroon. She's on a date with Chris. Chris and Chris. KG Smooth and
told me
Chris.
that I am his number one. I don't do number two.
You know, I gotta have my little backup on the side too, just in case.
This is a pleasant surprise.
Well, we haven't had a date.
No, we have not.
Chris interests me because he's just so calm and cool, and I'm like, he might calm me down. So I like him, but is it a friendly like, or I like you, I want you to be my man?
Is this
It's
gonna
a
track?
masquerade.
I know. Isn't that cool?
Yeah. Chrysanthemum set up this date, and I was shocked. The times that I did try to communicate, there was no response. So, in my mind, I chopped that one up as a loss. But yet, here we are. So what was growing up like?
I grew up in Italy. So I was 7. When I lived over there, I didn't know my dad. My mom just wanted an Italian baby. So I just met my dad like 6 years ago.
Wow.
We're like this. He's cool. I look just like him.
Dang, that's good, because
Well,
my dad kept denying my ass.
really?
He would reach out here and there, and then fast forward, I get a call from one of my cousins, like, he died. It was tough, and it's amazing how things like that affect us in life.
My mom, she's not real, like, affectionate. So I'm not affectionate. Her way of saying she loves you is making sure you're taken care of and everything is good.
So how did that affect, like, your other relationships then?
I don't do relationships.
Oh. So, can I read your energy on me, Rookie?
Okay, guys, so I'm about to break this all down. That was some deep stuff, and we got to get into it. So, again, like Amber and Chris, you remember they had this kind of connection because of their upbringings and their family. And I think she was adopted and met her siblings later in life. And Chris was saying that his dad wasn't around. He had all these other children, so he met some of his siblings later in life too. Now he's having a connection. They're really having a deep conversation, him and Chrysanthemum. And so they're having a deep conversation. And she grew up in Italy. She said her mom just wanted Italian baby, so she didn't even know who her dad was until 6 years ago, which means she also grew up without her father. And then Chris is basically saying, well, his dad kind of denied him and didn't even claim him. And then he got a call from a cousin saying that he had passed away, which is unfortunate because I'm sure they didn't get a chance to go full circle. But yeah, so they also have some kind of that family dynamic in too. But Chrysanthemum is also saying that her mom isn't affectionate, and neither is she, because she learned that it's learned behaviors. That's one of the things that people don't understand. Like, your familiar relationships kind of help shape you. Whatever you grew up with or without shape you in your relationships. And so she's saying she's not. So Chris asked her, like, basically, well, how did that, you not being affectionate, hurt you in your past relationships? She's like, I just don't do relationships. That's a real message, and people need to figure out the whys. Talk to somebody if you need to, a therapist or something, to help move past that. Because even now, if she's ready to love, how is she going to move past it? Did she go seek some counseling, seek some therapy, seek something so that she can be a little bit more affectionate? Or does she just need to date somebody who doesn't like affection? And she's not saying her mom isn't a good mom. She says she is, but how she shows love is just by taking care of you, making sure you're straight, everything good. No hugs, no kisses, none of all of that. No, I love you, maybe. I don't know. She didn't say that specifically, but that's kind of where I'm getting it from. Like, food was on the table. The house was paid off, mortgage, whatever. Rent, y'all had somewhere to sleep, eat. Y'all good. I love you. I don't know.
Quick, if you don't mind. I feel that you are about 70-30. 70%, I'm like, okay, Chris, yeah. The other 30 is like, am I right?
Yeah, you're not right. Because it's there, but it's not quite there, like, as far as the romantic part.
She
You made some
said,
connections, though?
Yeah, I have. You?
Yeah. Yeah, I have.
Good.
Yeah. Chrysanthemum, part of me is like, yeah, we can give it a go. The other part of me is like, let it go. Because at this moment,
They not
the
really
feeling
feeling
about
it, neither
Amber is
one of
still
them.
the same. I mean, she's still number one. It's a delicate, tight rope.
Amber's
to walk.
Chris is number one.
Let's toast to that. Finally meeting.
Cheers to you, darling.
What I can appreciate about this is Chris even said it. Like, I reached out to her. She didn't really respond back. I just brushed it off like that's that. He went on this date with her. She set it up. And he was open to it, but he even read her aura like, I feel like you kind of on the fence still. You like 30%. I don't know if this going to work. 70% you might be open to giving me a try. But he's basically saying like, we may as well just basically be friends. I think that's what they both really getting at. Because she's like, yeah, he kind of right. He probably ain't even 70-30. It's probably like 30% she'll give it a try, 70% she not. But she didn't say that. She just was like, you kind of right with that. So, yeah. Amber again.
On this journey of instilling Chris, we're trying to keep this connection building, moving forward. But this time is challenging us to step outside of this comfort zone. I decided to set up a date for Joel and I.
She's going on a date with Joel. Amber and Joel. Okay.
Good seeing you.
Do I have permission to give you a kiss on your jaw?
Wait, how many girls have you kissed on the
I ain't kissed nobody on their jaw.
Okay.
I don't think I
On
did.
their jaw.
We gotta make sure.
You know what
You
I'm
say
saying?
on
And
their
we'll see
cheek.
if I give you a kiss on the jaw.
You gonna give me a kiss on the jaw?
We'll see how the date goes. We do have a natural physical attraction for each other, but I didn't see like romance for him. So what's been up? How you doing? You had a long day today or did
You know what I did? And I had no idea I was gonna be on a date with you, so it doesn't even matter if anything was going on bad, you was gonna smooth it out right here. I've never had a
Oh,
struggle with
he's
talking
so
to Amber,
nice.
but this is our first time having our individual, intimate moment. You feel me? I just needed to have time to get more from her.
Joel.
I do like her vibe, so I just wanted to see how you do. First of all, do you want to be married again?
Absolutely, baby. And I'm happy. I thank God that I've overcame certain obstacles when it comes to this. You dig? Like, losing Courtney was hard, baby. Couldn't talk about that. But even in that moment, I knew I desired companionship.
Yeah.
It never went away. It don't die. I know it's possible.
Mm-hmm.
I've experienced it.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying? So, how do you feel about being in a relationship with a man 10, 11 years older than you, that has kids already? What their mom being though?
So I would never want to replace their mother for sure.
You
but
can't.
I really love kids, and I have this loving spirit and a nurturing spirit, so I'm fine with that.
You ain't gonna catch Joel running behind a 31-year-old. I'm just gonna be real with you. Norm and her sister don't really have it together like that. But Amber's different. She knows who she is. Your experiences does not match your age. It's almost like you before your time. That's big to me, you know what I'm saying? Because that was something similar I did with my wife in the past. She was younger than me, 6 years younger than me. I really admire your maturity.
Okay, guys, so this is another good moment. So they're having a conversation and they're asking the good questions, the deep questions. I guess we're halfway through, so they're like, okay, no more service level. Even if this is our first meetup, let's talk about the stuff that's important. He's like, I'm 11 years older than you. I have kids. Their mom is not in the picture at all. How do you feel about that? Because if you're not, into that, then we really don't need to be talking. So I appreciate that. And she had to think like, I don't want to replace their mom, but I love kids, so I wouldn't have a problem with that. And then he brought up a good point too. He's like, me personally, I'm not one of them out there chasing 31-year-olds or young girls, but she's very mature. She's a criminal attorney, DA. Like, he's like, your life experiences and your maturity is what, I like. So I think that was a really good conversation.
Yeah, I do. But she didn't know I'm gonna find like that, but Nisha finds it more too.
He still talking about Bernicia. He said, well, she ain't the only one like that. Bernicia found his mud too. I love it. I love them. Like, they are definitely one of my tops. They said nobody but each other at this point.
You gotta understand, this is a hard thing for me, but I'm gonna go ahead and put a stamp on my date for Amber. Right?
Okay.
Like,
So Joel gonna give her a shot, but he's still talking about Vernisha in the
This was
commentary.
romantic, and I could possibly see this again.
do I ever wish to kiss you again?
You're right. I told you today was good. I give you a kiss on the cheek. So
Man, oh damn.
I did feel bad for kissing Joelle because Chris is my number one. So that gave me a lot to think about.
Let me show you stuff. Look at
She kissed Joel on the cheek and she said she feeling bad because Chris her number one, honey. Okay, Liz, her hair still straight.
To take Jason out.
From the
Surprise.
masquerade ball. She's on a date with
My heart
Jason.
is still with David, but me and Jason have a great connection. We share some of the same ideals and thoughts, so I was excited to get the chance to see Jason.
Here, let me get you first. Here, come on.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, he's such a gentleman. He's pulling out her
I'm not
chair.
even gonna lie. When I saw her, I got nervous. I was like, yo, she was fine.
Let's toast to a great time.
And getting to know each other more.
I like that. Okay.
Yes.
After that masquerade party, I think there's some form of interest there on both sides.
You have to be vulnerable, but also you have to be cautious of your heart. Hmm.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, I like that.
And then I mentioned she fine.
So, this is our first date one-on-one.
We're not waiting for this.
I love the way our conversations go. I think we're very open. So, is there anything that you would like to know about me?
Yes.
That you feel like I am sharing here?
How you feel about sex? Sex before marriage?
Okay, Liz.
Good question.
She get right to it, I swear.
Abstinence, celibacy, all that. I'm for it. If you for it, I will support you in that. It'll be a struggle.
Yeah.
It'll be a struggle. But if that's something that we're leading towards
That was
marriage,
cute.
I'm gonna respect that and I'm gonna honor you.
That's important to me.
Yeah.
Especially moving into this phase of my life, because the reason why I'm here, like, I want marriage.
I respect that. I'm here for the
I'm
same
not
reason.
trying to be in no 8-year relationship. Look, I'm 40.
Okay.
You're 36, right?
Yes, I am.
Do you have an issue with dating older women?
40. That's young. You look younger than me, woman.
I take that, baby. I take that.
Something about.
Okay, so they digging deep. So she came right out with it, like, how do you feel about sex before marriage? And I think she did the same thing with AJ when they had a conversation, and she kind of wrote him off because he was like, I mean, I want to test drive a car. This is basically what he said. But Jason, right there on cue, like, celibacy, abstinence, whatever it is, if that's what we're doing, I'm here for it. It's going to be hard because you're fine. However, I can do it. And I'm sure she appreciated that. She said it's really important to her. She like, I'm 40, you 36. You like older women? Can you do that? He like, yeah, you look younger than me. So that was a cute little exchange. But I like it. So that means David, because David and her, I think, are both abstinent. And Jason, he's not saying that he is currently, but he said he's definitely open to that. And so Liz got another suitor.
So,
Okay.
are you ready to have some fun?
No, wait.
They're at an amusement park. Oh, the they're not in downtown Houston. I think it said aquarium.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Downtown. That's what it says. Downtown aquarium. So it's in Houston.
We're on top of the world. It's caught up in the moment.
I know.
Doing
This
this
is beautiful.
scenery.
Oh, this is a cute day. They're kissing.
I appreciate it.
Well, he kissed her on the
I
lip.
was not expecting my first kiss in this journey to be with Jason, but I'm feeling that he's feeling me, and I'm having some feelings towards him.
David ain't gonna like it.
It was very romantic.
It was just a kiss.
Just
It wasn't like
and it
a lot. Just a
it
bit.
felt great.
Woman.
Aww.
I believe on this date, Liz showed me a side of her that she didn't show another man. She may be fond of another brother, but I felt like she dropped her guard and really allowed herself to open up to me.
You enjoyed it?
I enjoyed it.
Like she had packed him a little picnic with champagne and everything. Oh, he kissed her again.
Jason really did take me by surprise. Our connection is growing a lot more.
She definitely looked a little caught off guard, but she didn't look like she didn't like it.
So it's a tough decision for me.
Wow. So I will say this, with the other ladies who went on dates with their opposites, I don't think too many, maybe Amber and Joelle, they kind of was like, okay, we can see this a little bit. But like the other ones, no, Chrysanthemum and Chris, not at all. Even, well, Alexis and Ron too. And then now Liz and Jason. Did nobody even take David out? He may go out with Vernisha maybe. I don't know who she'll take out. But it don't look like David got a date this week. Okay, AJ on another date. Who he with? Vernisha. No, Kyra. Kyra. So I think Jason might be her first and he may be her second.
We have on a date with before.
Which one?
AJ.
AJ, okay.
We went on 2 dates and the second one did not go that well.
Okay.
At this point, I'm going back and forth.
He brought her
Jason
flowers.
is still my sweetheart. But then I'm like, okay, Kai, what about AJ?
I really like that dress you got on, Kyra. I've been trying to buy it. It's always sold out.
We do have things in
It's a
common.
leather, mocha chocolate brown. Her skin tone, like new for a black girl. I like it. I love it. It's a midi dress. It's cute.
I have this good angel.
Squeeze my
And
hand.
does that. I do like you, and I like want to see what could be there, but I think you are more of a wild card. Maybe that's what it is. You're more of a wild card.
This week, I finally get my one-on-one date with Kyra. Nothing can go wrong because I know I've been working my way out of a hole.
So,
AJ.
let's play a little game already. Never happened.
Okay, so if you guys have not been watching or you forgot, Kyra and AJ went on a date before the show even took place. They went on 2 dates. So I guess the first one was okay, and then for them to go to the second one. The second date did not go well at all. His credit card got declined. She got stuck with the bill. And he played her when she tried to say something about it. He was like, you need to change your opinion on who pays for dates and all this stuff, because he was embarrassed instead of just manning up and being like, my bad, I didn't even know that happened. I'm gonna cash up you the money back. I'm gonna Venmo, can you take care of this? Like, he was petty, whatever. But he's been digging his way out of a hole. That's what he said just now. And so he's excited to be on this date with her. He like, but can't nothing go wrong because we can't have a repeat of our second date.
Ever. Never have I ever cheated on someone. You gotta drink if you did do it, right? Does high school count?
Kyra.
Anyway.
Okay, cool. Never have I ever been in love.
Oh, I'm about to say, oh Lord. Can I ask you about that situation?
I've been in love a bunch of times.
So why did those relationships not work?
Did
you communicate what you needed out of that relationship with that person?
I believe I did. Now, whether how effective I was in doing it, that I don't know. It's hard for me to trust things that people say.
It sounds like there's a breakdown, and I'm saying that because if someone's not understanding you and it's an intimate relationship, the love languages are not being communicated effectively. Because if we're both just talking and it's not productive, what is the purpose?
Man, it's a lot of purpose sometimes.
If we're not understanding each other, I'm saying if I'm having a problem with something.
Sure.
And I want you
Who's to say that your problem is always with me?
I'm not saying. Okay. I feel like my communication with AJ is stifled. I don't know what it is, but there's something when we're together that just is like this. When we talk to each other sometimes, the conversation veers off to like, I don't know.
Being in the hot seat when it comes to Kyra and her questions. I was a little on the ropes.
Okay, so Kyra and AJ are on their date, and they were playing Never Have I Ever, little cute little fun game. They Never Have I Ever cheated. Does high school count? You know, you drink if you've actually done that. Then they got on the topic of love. AJ said, never have I ever been in love. And they both drank. And she said, well, do you mind if I ask you about that? He said, I've been in love a lot of times. She's like, well, what in those relationships caused them to not work out? And he said something along the lines of, or she asked, something came up about communication, however it played out. And she was basically saying, well, were you honest with them on what you needed out of that relationship? And he was like, yeah, we had the discussions. Now it wasn't, I don't know if it was as effective as it could be. And so what she's getting at is that when they have communication, when they're communicating with one another, she said it just never lines up. Like they're always out of sync. They're not in sync on any of that stuff. And I can kind of see it because when she says something like, so if I were in a relationship and I told you I need it, and then he's like, well, who said I'll be the one that messed up or whatever? Like, stop, just listen to her question and answer it accordingly. But like, he's getting defensive, and he did say something like he has a hard time like trusting what people say, which is another little red flag. But like, he wouldn't even just let her ask the question and then answer. So it's more like he's not listening to understand and then communicate. He's just kind of cutting her off and stuff. So I don't know if that's the case. He's just very defensive. And maybe it's because of their past and what happened in the past. But I don't know. I don't think this one gonna work. She said Jason is her number one still. But she was gonna try to give AJ a little shot. But she's just like, when we communicate, it's like, she like, I don't know. So there again now, use your words, Kyra. Kyra's an attorney, so I know she probably knows exactly what it is. But she's like, I don't know. But just go ahead. You being honest and open, just tell them whatever it is. So I guess we're going to see how this whole thing plays out.
When we talk to each other sometimes, the conversation veers off to like, I don't know.
So you feel like I'll be enough time?
My last serious relationship ended due to a lack of communication. So I have to be as upfront as I can in how I'm feeling and where I am.
A lot of my childhood was where I had a lot of autonomy early. Mm-hmm. And I was like independent, and my family is kind of like that too, where you gotta figure stuff out on your own. So in relationships, it's definitely been an obstacle in the past of being able to be interdependent with a woman. I was raised by a single parent, and I'm a firstborn. So I continue to be a loner and kind of walk to the beat of my own drum.
I would hope that it would be a joint effort between the two of us to create that space that can see what this can seriously be.
You know, that's one of the things that this process has definitely kind of illustrated to me. You know, in order to get the stuff that you want, you gotta risk. I understand that may be difficult at times, but I feel like I'm ready. I want somebody really having my best interests at heart and having my back and having just a different perspective of what's going on.
Okay. I can do that.
I've been in relationships before where the companionship wasn't there. And so that's what I'm focused on now, finding a companion, finding someone that I can spend my time with and talk to, and someone I can grow with.
I do understand that this is a process and there are other gentlemen involved that definitely like you. So where is it that I fall in?
Okay, before we get into that, so he just asked her where does he fall in her rankings. Because he does know it's a process and there are other people involved, so he just kind of want to know for his own knowledge. I understand that. So let's go back a beat. So what she was saying is like, when I ask you something, we have conversations, it just seems like they veer off in a different direction. So he did say that his last relationship that he had, communication was an issue, and that is why it didn't work out. So then he goes back to say that he said he had a lot of autonomy growing up. Like, he was raised by a single parent, and so he was her firstborn, oldest child, oldest sibling. So he had to learn a lot of stuff on his own, figure it out. So he works like that. It's hard for him to be interdependent with a partner. And so Kyra basically saying, okay, I hear what you're saying, but I would think we would work together to get something like that. And he's like, yeah, I need a companion and all this stuff, somebody that has my best interest at heart. She's like, yeah, I could do that. And he's saying in the past, he's had relationships where there was really no companionship. And so that's what he's looking for, someone to grow old with and all that stuff, which all sounds good, right? And I hope that is what he wants. But I feel like this was a different layer of AJ that we have not seen so far, because like all the other women say, he's not really, I guess, getting deep with them. So I'm glad he did that with Kyra, and it seems like she's a little bit open to it. So we'll see. But she's finna let him know where he falls in her ranking.
When it comes to Kyra.
AJ, you've been in my top 3 from the beginning.
Okay. All right.
You say.
I like how she said, AJ, you've been in my top 3 from the beginning. These men be walking out here, you my number 1, you my number 1, you my number 1, which means you not number 1. I like that. Like, just be like, you're in my top 3. That gives them a clear picture, like you're still in my top. But I don't have to put 1 and 2 and 3 and all that stuff on it.
Someone I really do see that I can see myself leaving this experience and being like, no, like, we're ready for love with each other.
I am very hopeful about AJ because I did see the softer side of him, a more intentional side, a more sincere side.
It does seem like you are really intentional about trying to find that partner.
I dated Tony, so it was romantic. He had a nice.
It was a really nice day.
Flowers, there were candles.
Wow, he making up for that last day she had to pay for. They had a private little wine
My guards continue coming
cellar.
down, and yours too as well.
Brought her
And now we
flowers.
can just see the heart of AJ and the heart of Kyra.
I feel like I redeemed myself on this date.
I feel
It
like
felt
he
good.
did. She saw a softer side of him.
We kind of made a pact to say that we were going to let our guards down.
So you kiss my cheeks? This one too?
Aw, they were cute. Okay, Vernisha, who you going on this date with, girl? She's at Taste Bar and Kitchen. Looks cute.
Hey, King. I take Dietrich out on a date.
Dietrich, I forgot he was still on the show. So him and David didn't have a date at first, but now he has
on
one.
me, so we connect in that area. But he doesn't open up a lot. So it's like you gotta ask him exactly what you want to know.
Get a little closer to you.
Mm-hmm.
What made you pick this spot?
I like the food
Okay.
and the ambiance.
I like Venetia. She's a goddess. But I don't like her just for that, though. I seen some things. She's really here for love, and that's commendable about her.
So how are you feeling? Because I know I've been a little overwhelmed.
Actually, it's funny you ask that because you've been on my mind.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I just think that it's because I feel a connection with you. You putting yourself out there.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the major qualities that I do like about you. So what's a normal day for you?
My day is pretty busy. And we have dance practice or choir practice. So I'll be running around with kids most of the time if I'm not working.
So you got time for a relationship?
I do. You make time for what you want, and I want a relationship.
Okay.
Nugget right there. You make time for what you want. Keep that in mind. That's true. That's a good nugget, Vernisha. That is true. Because he's like, you busy. You got your kids. You got your job. You busy. She said, yeah, but I will make time for a relationship. You make time for what you want.
When me and Venetia are in public together, it sparks. So honestly, if I had to pick right now, because of the connection that I have with Venetia, I would choose Venetia. So what have you got any expectations?
Just for you to be a leader. Be the head of your household.
Okay.
Just not knowing how to be a man,
But here's the thing though. There's many levels to just being a man.
That goes with the definition. So everybody have a different perspective.
So it's subjective. Because some women, being a man is paying all the bills, cooking, cleaning, like doing everything.
I'm not a person, I need you to pay every bill. Hey, I've been taking care of me and 3 kids for a long time.
Right.
But I would like my man to be able to take some slack off of me. Like, hey, babe, you've been doing it. I got this. I need somebody that can lead me.
Okay. So do you see any of those qualities in me?
I'm trying to learn the leadership side of it. I know I'm not for everybody.
Right.
It's taking like a special type of man.
You're a tough one too, though.
I'm not tough.
No, you tough.
I think I'm just zero tolerance.
That's tough.
It's not tough. That's just like not allowing people to just kind of do anything to you.
You make me a little nervous.
He did tell me that he gets nervous around powerful women. I don't like that. You know, I need you to be real confident when you're dealing with me. That's why I'm very much into Joel. If I have a man that I have to lead, it defeats the purpose to me of having a man.
You made
Okay, so here again, Bernice on a date with Dietrich, and she thinking about Joel, just like he was doing on his date with Amber. So she brought up a really good point. He said, you got any expectations? And she was like, I need a man to be a leader. So I think what she's saying too is like, because he's saying if it was her right now, I would choose her. But apparently this like their first date together or something like that. So she's like, are you even leading? You ain't even asking me out. You ain't even trying to get to know me like that. So he like, do you see those qualities in me? She's like, I'm trying to see. I need a man that's a leader. He's like, well, that's by definition. What does that mean? She's like, you know, be a man. Like, but he's like, by definition, it could be different, which is true, right? It's true. But she basically laid it out there. He's like, well, some people want him to pay all the bills. And I said, she's like, I'll take care of me and my 3 kids for a minute now, but I would like a man that would help take some of the slack off. Like, she's not asking you to pay all of her bills, but like every now and again help her out so that she's like, oh, he cares about me and my family and our family and all that stuff, which I definitely understand. But she's like, I'm just trying to get to know your leadership qualities, which means she really doesn't see them, but she says she definitely sees them with Joel. She's like, he's confident. He's like, you make me nervous. You strong. He didn't use the word strong. What was the word he used? I don't know. Y'all probably heard it. But anyway, she was like, I don't like that you talking about I make you nervous. You can't be nervous around strong women. You can't be nervous around powerful women. You need to be confident. And that's what she's seeing Joel.
nervous. I ain't even want to eat no more. But I want to walk you to your car.
Thank you.
That was a turn off for her for sure.
Get away.
Okay, it was the ladies again meeting up probably with Tommy to give him their picks or let him know how the dates went.
We're back to Ladies Lounge.
The ladies lounge.
The ladies hold the power.
Lady, I want to know all about your dates. With these side pieces turn into the main course. Yes, I want to know. Let's start with Alexis.
The date that I went on was with Ron, and he's my complete opposite. So this is our first time being together. I took him to putt-putt. Sometimes when you're talking to people on the phone, when you actually meet them and you get in their presence, it's not the same chemistry.
Yeah.
But for us, it was pretty magical. He was very affectionate. There were a lot of hugs. There was a piggyback ride.
Piggyback?
Oh, that's cute.
He did say I'm his number one.
Alexis doing the most, so you should see Chrysanthemum's face. Basically, she's like, I went with Ron, and I didn't know if when we got in person, it was going to still be the chemistry like we have on the phone, because we've been talking on the phone every day, but this was actually their first time meeting. So I'm like, dang, she was his number one from a phone call, and they hadn't even had a date, but like she said, it was a lot of chemistry, hugs, piggyback rides, and all that. She like, well, he did say I'm his number one. Like, just throwing it in Chris' face. That's how I feel, but who am I to talk? Go ahead, Alexis Fly.
Cheers.
Oh,
She still feels she's his top. That's
Chrysanthemum.
He shows me different. I feel like I'm his top, so I'm not even worried about who he's saying his top is.
Let's talk, District Attorney.
So I had a date with Joel. We went to a restaurant. We went to Lucio's. He asked to feed me. He fed me.
Can I stop you for a second? Do you know you good shit right now?
It was, honestly, I was surprised. Because, you know, he gives me more of that country boy. But he was just so sweet and romantic. Yeah.
That's sex.
He asked to kiss me when he first came here. And I told him that he could earn me kissing him back end of the day.
And did it reciprocate?
I did.
Okay, so Amber gushing about Joel, and Bernice's just looking and smiling, but you could tell in the back of her mind, she like, what? And she said, yeah, he kissed me when I came in and asked, could I give him a kiss? Now, she ain't saying nothing about the jaw like he said on the cheek, giving these women this false narrative. No, just joking. But, I mean, they didn't kiss. It was literally on the cheek. But yeah, she said she was surprised. She thought he was just like a country boy, but he was romantic and sweet as well.
I was a little hurt by Joel finding out that he kissed Amber. Considering
Bernicia
Joel
don't
had
like
never
it.
shared a kiss, I just felt it disregarded my feelings all the way around.
And she said they've never kissed, so she feels some kind of way. Bernicia does. And I think David is going to feel the same way about Liz. And it wasn't that Liz went after this kiss with Jason, but she received it. So I guess they need to be making their moves. Like David needs to be trying to kiss her. Then Jason wouldn't have been Liz's first kiss. Or I guess, now Joel should have kissed Bernicia and not just Amber.
My date was probably one of the most romantic dates I've ever been on.
Kyra talking about her and AJ.
Date with AJ.
Her redemption date.
He did.
Tommy said, did he pay for everything?
When I
She
got
said
there,
he
he
did.
opened my front door. He had roses for me. I had lobster.
You made up for years ago. That's what you did.
I was like, okay, like you went from being the worst date ever to the best date ever.
From the worst date to the best date.
That's a big turnaround.
A big turnaround. A big turnaround.
So is it safe to say he's your top?
It's up between him and Jason. I know with Jason, it's a safe space. AJ, it's just the uncertainty. You know, he kind of has this little flirty thing with everybody. And I know that Jason will handle me with care. He does that already. But AJ is on his heels.
You trying to make sure he ain't slick. That's all that. Any more dates?
I had that with Jason.
Okay.
It was a beautiful day. We got a chance to talk more about each other.
Liz is talking about
experience more with each other.
Jason.
We hopped on the Ferris wheel and we're enjoying the moment.
And what?
You gonna talk about the kiss?
He leaned in to kiss me.
Look at everybody is like, oh, clutching my pearls.
Did you like the fact?
Yeah, I did. It was nice. That whole moment.
She said it was nice.
It made me see him in a different light.
It was romantic.
I don't know how Kyra
When
likes
Liz
that
said that
because
about
Jason is her number
it
one
kinda
and they haven't
rubbed me
kissed
the
either.
wrong way, but I'm gonna let you go ahead and do what you're gonna do because I am highly competitive and I'm coming for everything that you're saying.
She says she's highly competitive and she's coming for everything Liz is saying. That is Kyra. And I don't know if they kissed or not. Let me not say that. They may have kissed. We haven't seen them kiss, but I know they made her feel away. Just like Bernicia felt away when Joel didn't out here kiss Amber on the cheek and he didn't kiss her.
I'm glad to hear that.
But see, she didn't say cheek either. So Bernicia may be thinking it was more than it actually was.
Y'all's connections are advancing. We are aiming to find love, right? Who are we not?
No one went on a date with David, so I don't know.
Dietrich went to the taste bar. Food was really good. I have nothing bad to say.
Bernicia's not feeling
I'm
Dietrich.
still learning him. I feel like he
I
doesn't
don't think
completely
so.
open up to me yet.
She said he's not opening up to her completely.
I don't want a man nervous. I'm big on leadership. You know what I'm saying? And confidence.
I think he's a nice man, but I just don't see him being the one for me.
I have had great conversations with him, but he's just kind of too far down.
So Kyra and Liz also said the same thing. He's too far down. Not that it's anything bad.
With Dad, we were talking about my dad, and I was like, I didn't know him, but there is no romantic connection.
And Chris Cynthia is
As a
saying
friend, than someone that I would be.
no romantic connection with Chris,
connected
KG Smooth,
Right now,
Kyra
I'm in the
either.
friend zone, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
And also
I feel
Alexis
like
White.
AJ is
Put him in a friend
playing
zone.
the game. He's just being charming to get what he needs to get at the moment. Hold on now. I'll let y'all say Chris, honey. So, AJ brought this up in our day. I'm worried about work, put forth the effort. I said, I put forth the effort with whoever puts forth the effort with me. That doesn't mean I'm going to chase you. I don't feel like he's trying. I feel like he feels like his good looks is going to just carry him through. And for that, I would have to say AJ.
Amber is saying AJ. And so is
I think our belief system
Liz
are
and
different,
Bernicia
so
is also saying
that's why I
AJ
would
in
have
the
to
bottom.
put
So it's
him
looking
in
like
the bottom.
AJ and Dietrich. Maybe even KG. Those are the
Conversation, don't come for me, beautiful lady in red. AJ is really going to the bottom for me right now.
Oh, even Alexis Frost said he had her bottom.
Kind of taken back. You would say AJ. You would say AJ. Did y'all? I said AJ.
Everybody said AJ but Kyra.
Of him, so I am a little.
She said she feels protective of him, though, so she doesn't like
I think we're
that.
close to a decision.
But I mean, maybe he's decided on Kyra and not the rest of them. But again, like that David, they can't just be in one person's top.
Keep stepping it.
I can honestly say it's hard.
I still think it's Dietrich that's going home, unless it's two now. And I mean, when Tressa left, there was nobody else for Dietrich. He's not really having, he's not anybody's top, I don't believe. Oh, Dietrich, Kyra's going with Dietrich.
Our conversations are always dope.
I don't think they know it's elimination night. Because he's talking about our conversations always dope. Sir, they've had a deliberation and you on the chopping block. I don't think they be knowing, guys. She looks cute.
Like the kids.
Thank you.
Oh, and AJ. So it's Dietrich and AJ. And AJ is with Alexis. You know, he was in her number one at some point.
Really excited about this date with Alexis today. But
I think he gonna make it if it's only one going home.
Focus
It might
has
be
me
two.
feeling like I don't necessarily know where I sit anymore.
I ain't talked to you in a couple days, so.
Yeah, you've been hard to get a hold
Oh,
of.
me? It's been hard to get you.
Just makes me feel like you're not that interested.
You know, because when a man likes a woman,
Okay.
You don't know.
okay.
So,
I was,
Okay, see, now I can focus.
what you mean?
How has the process just overall been for you?
I'm still trying to find out, like,
So guys, they definitely have no idea that they're on the chopping block because Alexis started off because you know he was in her top 3 or her top picks, him and then Ron. She said he's moved down the list. She's like, I ain't talking to you in a couple days. He like, you hard to get a hold of. She like, you hard to get a hold of, which makes me feel like you're just not that interested. She was like, you know, I would know if you were. And so he grabs her hands and pulls her into his lap or whatever. Sir, this is a elimination talk. This ain't y'all on a date. I literally think that it's just like, surprise, surprise, you going home today. Interesting. Now, Kyra and Dietrich, it ain't nothing like that because they don't have this connection that Alexis and AJ once had. And not Alexis fly talking about something. Oh, I can't even think. It's kind of awkward because especially she finna send him home and he done just put her in his lap. Now we gotta have this conversation this way instead of just, eye to eye.
who's actually here for the realness, and at the end of the day, I just always want to be authentic.
No, I feel like the consistency hasn't been there, and I might get it because, Kyra or somebody else you're more interested in. And the thing about that, then I wasn't giving attention. I want to give it another chance, so,
AJ all hugged up on Alexis because she said, I feel like you're not consistent.
You need to tell them what the girls are feeling.
So she moved on back to her seat.
You was at everybody's bottom. And I ain't gonna lie to you.
Was I at the bottom?
Oh yeah, you on the chopping block for me today.
She told him he's on the chopping block for her too.
But one minute they're like, oh, he's feeling me. Then the next minute they're like, oh, not really sure.
Number one, they feel like you're a playboy if you're really here for the right reasons. And we talked about how you give off this sexual vibe, but it's like you're doing it with everybody. When you're talking to us, we need to feel like you talking to us. I ain't touching your head. 'Cause I don't know.
He trying to grab her hands again.
She said, Didrik is a great guy, so there could be something, but you gotta first be real with yourself.
Right. I'm opening up, but this journey has brought out like a whole new shy person.
I mean, nobody.
So Kyra's saying, like, people like you, they just saying you're not opening up, and he's saying it's bringing out a shy side of him. Probably because all the women are just super empowered, ambitious, boss women, and some people just ain't used to dating that.
I think their feelings hurt, but you're still being guarded. Like, get it together. Come on.
Kyra, like, get it together, Dietrich.
Sure that a lot of other women feel the same way.
They do. And that's not a good thing, because at this point, the women have decided,
Based on the conversations that me and Blake have
Go.
had, At this time, we do not think that you are ready for love.
Kyra said Dietrich is not ready for love.
It's cool.
That's what the women have decided. I saw it coming, guys. I think I called this one too. Now, I didn't see Stacey last week. They threw her in there.
I'm sad about the bonds that I made, but
I just feel like Dietrich didn't have a number one. He tried it with Tressa, and I think that was only to stick around because he wasn't in a hurry either.
I'm gonna take a couple of months just to sit back for a second, just think about things, and we'll see where it takes me. You know, if I fall in love, I'll let y'all know.
Bye, Paul. That's what Tressa called him.
I'll say this.
He's a grandpa.
You have to get your act together because the women have decided that you were still ready to love.
AJ, you to stick around.
Just letting me know how the other women feel.
And she said you gotta get your act together. The women feel like you at the bar.
They want to see a declaration and a clear path of what it is that I want. It's definitely one of those things that just lets you know that you could be gone at any second.
Mm-hmm. Are you crying?
I'm not ready to go, emotional. I'm good. Come on. I'm not ready to go yet. Well, I'm looking for
Next time on Ready to Love.
Okay, guys, that is this week's episode. I mean, there was a lot going on. Dietrich did go home. He is eliminated. Paul is gone. He said if he found love, he'll let y'all know. So he's still out there. He's still single. Y'all want him? Go shoot your shot. He got a little shot on this show. I really didn't see it with him and anyone, especially after Tressa left. And I really didn't even see that, but he acted like it was a thing, so I was gonna go with it. But yeah, AJ got to step it up because what he is not is consistent. He's not making these women feel like he's interested. And so if other men are doing that, you definitely going to the bottom. You're not gonna stay in my top. And I feel like I ain't heard from you in days when I hear from Ron every single day. I know that's where Lex is coming from, especially because he's been her top from the beginning. And then Ron swooped in. And then they had that chemistry in person too. So, and some of the other ladies are just saying, like, I feel like Amber is brought up. I feel like AJ is just saying what you want to hear to stay around, and nobody wants that. So if he wants to pursue Kyra, then he can do that. He should just keep it 100 with everybody else. I don't know if that's the case or not, but it does look like he had to redeem himself with Kyra. So that's where his attention is gone. And I don't know how he feels about the other women, but he sounds like he gonna try. He already knows he can go home at any moment. But opposites, sometimes they attract and sometimes they just do not. A few of them still worked out. KG got to get it together, but I know he does have a really good connection. They ain't one of my tops, him and Amber. But I guess if he don't connect with anyone else, it might be really hard to see that thing through. But right now, he's still in the mix. He wasn't even in the bottom, so that's a good sign. And then Jason, he got some decisions to make, guys. But I'm still team David and Alexis. Even though her and Jason didn't kiss now, I still feel like she really cares for David. So that's cool. He got to get it together too, because if she the only one to care for him, him and Chris might be up on the chopping block. Next, I can't wait to get into next week. Let me know what y'all thoughts are. Comment down below. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again for listening to the Simpli Living Podcast for another installment of the Ready to Love recap. Watch with me, see my honest and true reactions firsthand. I had a good time watching this. I can't wait to get into next week. But opposites, sometimes they do attract. Let me know what y'all think about that for sure. Until next time. See ya.